Hi second graders, welcome to math class. In this video you will learn about chapter 19 and this chapter is on shapes and patterns. Lesson 1 is on plane shapes. Well, we're not talking about the planes that fly in the sky that take you to places. No, this is a different term. So let me see if I can explain that term to you. What does it mean, plane shapes? Plane shapes are shapes that are flat, okay? They can be drawn on paper, like the ones you see over here. They're flat, they lie in a plane, okay? We draw them on a paper. Plane shapes are also shapes that have two dimensions. They have length and width. They don't have thickness, okay? They're just in a plane. They don't have a thickness. And that is why they're sometimes called 2D shapes. I'm sure you heard that term. So plane shapes are 2D shapes. Now, I think we are ready to find out what this lesson is going to teach us. We will be learning many skills. Skill number 1 that we will obtain from this lesson is that we will be able to recognize and identify plane shapes. You will also learn in this lesson to combine smaller plane shapes to make larger plane shapes. We'll have fun with that. And you will also learn to separate larger plane shapes into smaller plane shapes. That sounds like fun, don't you think? Let's look at the first skill. Recognize and identify plane shapes. So there are shapes that you already know, but there are two that you will be learning today, I think, because I don't think you know those. But if you do, good for you. Great. The first one that I'm going to show you is circle. Excellent. This one is called circle. You all know circle. This one is called rectangle. Okay, rectangle plane shape. Now, there's many objects that have shapes. In fact, everywhere you look, you see shapes. Just like God. God is everywhere. Everywhere you go, everywhere you are, God is there with you. He said that to us in Jeremiah. I am everywhere. So remember that not only shapes are everywhere, but also God. God is everywhere. You're never alone. He's always there with us. So let's look at the first object that we can sort. I have a coin. So coin is a shape of a circle. We'll go through this fast because I know this is very familiar to you. You did this in first grade. Domino, we're going to put in rectangle shapes. This is also bill, right? Money. We'll put that into rectangles. This is a sign that you can see on streets. Very good. This is also a rectangle. Here we have a bowl, definitely a circle. And here we have clock, circle. And here we have a wheel, circle. Circle. And last one, it's a postcard, and that goes into rectangles. Very good. Let's move on to next plane shape that you will again recognize. You'll be like, oh, I know that one. This is called a triangle. Very good. And here we have one more that you will be familiar with, called a square. Nice job. Now let's look at the object that you can see around you and see if you can help me to sort these objects. In these objects, do you see triangle or do you see square? Let's see. So I have this hanger that we all use. I see triangle in this one. Here I have cookie. Definitely squares. They look like small squares. Here's a frame. Yep, it looks like a square. Window, another square. In fact, this one has 4 small squares in one big square, which we will talk about in just a little bit. Pedestrian sign. This is the sign that you see in areas that you are allowed to cross the street. So this one looks like a triangle. And then here we have a pizza slice, yum yum, and that one looks like a triangle too. Well, I think it's time to introduce to you the 2 new shapes that you will be learning in this lesson. Here we welcome in our lesson 6 sides plane shape called hexagon. Has a special stamp because it's a new one. And one more that you we'll be learning in this lesson 4 sides plane shape, and this one we call trapezoid. All right, another one that has a new stamp. Now we're going to together sort objects again that we can see everywhere. Remember, just like God is everywhere, we can also see shapes everywhere. So now let's identify trapezoid and hexagon in these objects. Stop sign. This one looks like a hexagon, has 6 sides. This one will go in this column. This is a bucket and it has a shape of a trapezoid. Here we have popcorn, container of a popcorn. Again, I can see trapezoid here, 4 sides. And here you have a pencil. You see the edge of a pencil? It has a shape of a hexagon, 6 sides. And this is a purse that has a shape of a trapezoid, 4 sides. Okay, practice makes perfect. Let's continue practice these skills. And let's see if we can count all these shapes in this picture. Circles, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 circles. Okay, let's write that here. Triangles, I see 1 triangle. There's a small one right here. 2 triangles. Squares, I have 1 square right here. Do you see it? Where the circles are in? That's also a square right here. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't see any more squares. So let's put 6 squares. Rectangles, I have 1 big one here. And inside of the big one, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 rectangles, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. That makes it 12 rectangles. Trapezoids, I know I can see it right here. I had my eye on that one already. That's 1. And then there's this big one right here. 2 trapezoids. I don't see any more trapezoids. 2 and hexagon. Again, I'm looking for a plane shape of 6 sides. Hexagon. Here they are. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 hexagons. I don't see any more. Okay, wonderful. So this is how we count shapes. Now, I think we are ready now to move on and learn about combining smaller plane shapes to make larger plane shapes. Let's see what this is about. So as you can see here, you have a square, okay? And it's telling us that we can combine 4 squares to form a larger square. So we had a little sneak peek about that earlier. So this is what it's about. So let me grab one of these squares. And you'll see that I can put these squares into one big one. And I am combining them to form a larger square. Now I can do the same thing with triangles. Here I have this triangle and I can combine 6 triangles to form a hexagon. You see how I combined these triangles using 6 of them to form a hexagon. But there's something else you can do with plane shapes. You can make figures by combining different shapes. So let me show you what I can create out of the shapes I have down here. Just keep on watching and see if I can build something here for you out of these different shapes I have here. As you can see, I'm using triangle, circle, and these 3 rectangles. And here I have a square. I don't know if you can already see what I'm putting together. And this shape is an oval, right? That we are not necessarily learning in this lesson, but I know you know that one already too. See, I was able to make a figure combining these different shapes. All right, well, the last thing that we need to learn in this lesson is how to separate larger plane shapes into smaller plane shapes. Let's see what that is about. So here we have large shape, as you can see, shape of a square and shape of a trapezoid. Now we can separate this large shape to make smaller shapes. Here we separated the square into 2 smaller triangles. See, they're separated. So you can see that you can separate square into these 2 triangles. Okay, now the same thing you can do with trapezoid. Trapezoid, I can also separate into, this time, 3 small triangles. Now if I want to move these triangles over here, they will put together. We place them nicely together. they will be, again, if you combine them, they'll make that large trapezoid, and you can also separate them. Separate the larger shape into smaller shapes. So these are the magic things we can do with shapes. We can combine them, we can separate them, we can even build things, another figures out of shapes. So I hope you had fun, everyone. Now it is your turn to show off your skills and see how much you learned in this lesson. You need to go and work on page 25 and 226 and 227, and you will only upload page 225. Second graders, God bless you all. I am very grateful for your attention, and I wish you all the best in this chapter. I will see you in the next video. God bless you, everyone.